Can everybody hear me? I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you very much for the warm welcome. And thank you for inviting me to speak today. BACP in the city of Chicago has always had a collaborative relationship with the Illinois Limousine Association, and we're always happy to participate in your meeting. So thank you all. Now, Paula, I just had that one kind of list of items. If you can't share it, I can share it. Do you want me to share it? Okay.
Yes, I had to switch computers real quick. Thank
It's
you,
okay. All right, no worries.
Rupal.
Okay, so let me just go through this quickly. So I just wanted to, for those of you that are not familiar, with the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, I just wanted to introduce the department, BACP. It is a City of Chicago department, and it is the department responsible for ensuring a fair and vibrant marketplace for businesses, workers, consumers in the City of Chicago. And BACP licenses business activity within the City of Chicago. So I am the Deputy Commissioner of a public vehicle and public chauffeur licensing, but the department itself licenses consumer facing businesses. So we're talking about liquor establishments like bars, also restaurants, retail food, regular retail. We have we license almost like all businesses in the city of Chicago. If you go to our website, which is chicago.gov/BACP, you'll get a overview. And Paula, I sent a PDF version of this. You can share this with everybody on the call, so people can have the links to these web pages.
Yes, and what we do is we send out an email with the recording and all the pages, and so we'll include this. Thank you, Rupal.
Okay, so feel free to go to our website. You can see everything that we do. We also do promote businesses and business development. We have free webinars, usually 2 a week, that help with anything about tax law, but also setting up a business, like knowing legal entity, social media promotions. If you go to our website, you will see an outreach section with upcoming webinars, but all of our webinars are also recorded and they're posted on YouTube. I actually had done a webinar on going through public vehicle and public chauffeur licensing. It's on our YouTube page, going through steps and information. So it's also there. I think the information is still current. So we and then we have the live webinars twice a week. So all of you are business owners, those are free for anybody. One thing I wanted to stress about the ACP being a City of Chicago department, our jurisdiction and authority is City of Chicago activity. So we have been recently receiving a lot of inquiries about from people, businesses that want to apply for licenses, but don't do business in City of Chicago. So we're not state of Illinois. We're also not USDOT. Like, we'll ask, we'll have I don't know, a company that might be doing limo service in DuPage County, or, we've even had stuff in Kankakee and doing chauffeur related services. And our first question will do work in Chicago? And they say no. I'm like, well, you don't need it. I mean, we license the businesses that are operating in Chicago. So you might not need a license in Kankakee or DuPage County or Joliet or whatever, but that you don't need a City of Chicago license to operate in those areas, only in the City of Chicago. So I just wanted to, I'm sure there's businesses on this call that don't do any business in Chicago. Well, you don't need a City of Chicago license. All right, the next thing, for those that do have City of Chicago licenses, bookmark our webpage. We have a dedicated public vehicle webpage. It's chicago.gov/public vehicle. Bookmark it. on your browsers. We have laws, fact sheet information, application forms. A lot of the questions can be answered. We have a public vehicle licensing guide. It's like it's a booklet, and then every page describes a different type of license we issue. Anything from a pedicab to a livery to the sightseeing license. We also license tour boats and water taxis. So it has a page description, a summary of every single license type that we license, including the ride hail industry. So it's called a licensing guide. It's on our webpage. We also have new applicant checklists and instructions. We specifically have a new application checklist for public chauffeurs, step-by-step guides, what you need to do in the order you need to do it to apply for a chauffeur license. Same thing with, we have a public passenger vehicle, new checklist for applicants. Again, list every document you need, the order and the process. So it's all there, step by step, to help people apply for licenses. When you get a new license, or anybody that has an existing license, we also have toolkits. We have a toolkit for taxis. We also have a toolkit for all public passenger vehicle licenses that also talk about that has contacts for our Department of Finance for ground transportation tax. It has helpful information to help people maintain their licenses and compliance. Again, that's all on our webpage. Okay, number 3, another important webpage is our data portal. Those businesses that have City of Chicago public passenger vehicles, like licensed liveries, you can look up your inspection schedule right now. You could plug in your livery vehicle number and see if you have any scheduled inspections. This is not IDOT. Again, we're not Illinois. We're not state of Illinois. This is not IDOT inspections. This is City of Chicago inspections at our public vehicle inspection facility at 2420 West Pershing Road. This schedule gets updated hourly. So if you have a livery vehicle inspection end of this week, but you need to change it, when we change it within an hour, the data portal will update. So you could query by your company, you could query by the license number and see what inspections your vehicles have this year. Brand new livery vehicles are not inspected at the city inspection. They're older vehicles, but you could see them. You could see the inspections. And it's a dynamic webpage. We also have a public chauffeur data set. So if you're hiring a City of Chicago restricted chauffeur, those are the livery chauffeurs, or a taxi chauffeur, you can go to that public chauffeur data set to confirm this person has a chauffeur license in good standing. It'll say active. If they're, it'll say, if they're not active, you could say revoked, it could say suspended, it would have a status, but you could see if they're currently active or if they're expired. So that is also, again, updated hourly. So if somebody comes in, renews their chauffeur license, that information will be updated on the data portal. We also have a data set, public passenger vehicle licenses, where if you have a livery license or a Medicare license, ambulance license, taxi license, it's all there. You could see this license status. You could see how many livery vehicles are active, how many are in violation. It's all there. Okay. Number 4, save our email address. We're very responsive. We will respond to your questions. If you have any questions about licensing, or if we're not the department that has the answer, if it's a City of Chicago department, we will definitely forward it. So if you have a question for aviation, or for Department of Finance, or Department of Transportation, we can forward it to the appropriate department. If you have questions, or if you want to submit applications, you can email us. And so it's BACPPB@cityofchicago.org. That email address also, if you go to see your scheduled inspection, or if you, need to change it, you can just send an email. For those that are veteran chauffeur, public livery licensees or charter bus licensees, we also post the schedule of renewal appointments. And if you want to, change that, you can just email us. You don't have to come in physically to do a lot of services. You could send emails to us. To save you time and effort for driving to our our licensing facility, which is at 2350 West Ogden. You could just email us many things. We do have people emailing us license applications for like chauffeur applications, livery vehicle applications, renewal. You can email us. And if it's a service you cannot do by email, we will let you know. All right, for everybody on this call, that is doing work in City of Chicago, including the airports, you can join our public vehicle industry notice, distribution list. Again, you just send us an email and say you'd like to join. We disseminate information from our Office of Emergency Management and Communication. Office of Emergency Management and Communication, which is OEMC. They're in charge of managing anything in the city of Chicago that is not business as usual. Okay, so we're talking like things that are not business as usual are like the Bears playoff game or Lollapalooza. That's not like a day-to-day activity. Those are special events. The Chicago Marathon. Anything that is not a regular day-to-day, Chicago activity or event. They are in charge of making sure that everything, the safety around the event, but they're also in charge of traffic management to make sure people are safely get to the event and leave the event. So we do disseminate traffic management directives with maps that OMC creates to direct the public vehicle industry. And it includes, directives not only for the Rhine Hill community licensees, but also for taxis, liveries, and pedicabs. So, so I encourage people to sign up for industry notices. And we also will share information on updates to laws and any processes we have. Okay. Updated license fees. All right, so this is why Paula asked me to speak today. So we do have in this, we also for public vehicle, in the licenses in my bureau that we license, there's actually 4 license types that have updated license fees. I didn't put down the commercial passenger vessels, which are the tour boats and the water taxis. I don't know if many of you manage those or deal with waterway activity. But just for your reference, that license also was updated, and that's like $600 per boat or vessel. I'm sorry, so that's $600. But for liveries, it's $1,200 for a 2-year license term. For charter sightseeing vehicles, it's $1,000 for a 1-year license term. For Medicare vehicle, it's $600 for a 1-year license term. And then the license term for the charter sightseeing vehicles has not changed. The Medicare vehicle has not changed. It's 1-year license. Number 7 is significant. So what we've done is now the city council and it was a collaborative effort to move liveries to a 2-year license. Now we've done this years and years ago for taxis. We've also done this for chauffeur licenses, where they're 2-year license term and it's staggered. I don't know if anybody was at our facility in end of December for livery license renewals, but we had lines outside before 8:30 where there were 30 people waiting on the cold for our door to open. We don't want people to freeze to death because they need to renew their licenses, even though they all waited last minute. And so that's why we're moving to a staggered. So instead of renewing 4,000 licenses, we're going to stagger. So it'd be 2,000 every year. For the licensees, it's a benefit too, because you only have to do this once every 2 years. You don't have to do this once a year. And there'll be less waits, there'll be less congestion. It's a win-win for all. It really is. And that's why we moved to taxi licenses also going to a 2-year term and chauffeur licenses. Because we don't want people to be waiting outside in the freezing cold in Chicago, outside of the facility for it to open at 8:30. So we wanted to do something to support the businesses and make things streamlined and business friendly. So the way it's gonna be staggered, and there is an industry notice, and I'm probably gonna pull that up, so I'm gonna go through that just to walk everybody through it. If you have an odd numbered vehicle license, you're gonna be renewing in odd numbered years. Even numbered licenses will be expiring in even numbered years. Now, this year is a transition period. So let me go through that list. Let me pull that document up right now and go through. Just give me 1 second. So I'm going to stop sharing this and then I'll share that document. Just give me 1 second. All right, well, maybe did it pop up? Did you see the new one did it pop up or is the old one?
Still old one.
All right, let me just share this one then. There's one. Okay, is this the new one? This is the notice that we
Yes,
sent out January 27th. Okay. All right, so these are the amendments, and this is all about liberty, the liberty laws. All right, first of all, I wanted to just stress, if you already renewed and everything was renewed and you got your license, even your new license before February 1st, you would have gotten a hard card that says your license expires December 31st of 2026. That is valid. You're good until end of this year. These laws do not affect you because you already, you either renewed your license or received a new license right before February 1st, 2026. So if you have a livery license with a hard card that says December 31st, 2026, this doesn't, nothing changes. You're good until the end of this year, okay? That doesn't mean you wait until the last week to renew. You should still come in November, but you're good until the end of this year, okay? So this law, February 1st law, applies to new applicants after February 1st and any of the stragglers that came in late to renew after February 1st. This is what applies. Now, this will also apply to all of you that have the December 31st, 2026 hard cards because you'll be renewing this year. So this will apply to you in the fall. So I do stress again, do not wait until the last minute to renew because this is new stuff here and you need to understand what what the renewal will be. So I again encourage you not to wait until the end of December. There's gonna be 4,000 licenses that will renew and there'll be confusion. So this year, it's going to take longer. Our customer service is going to take longer with everybody because we're going to have to explain this to everybody that comes in. We're going to start renewal again in October. So people can renew in October, November, and December. It's just gonna take longer for us to explain all of this to everybody. So just I'm gonna ask you to be patient and be prepared and save yourself time and effort by doing it early and even by email. Okay, so number one, it's a non-refundable, it's always been a non-refundable fee, but it's $1,200 for a 2-year license, okay? The livery vehicle licenses will transition to a 2-year license term. So odd numbered license number. So if you have, an odd numbered license on your license plates on the hard card, you'll expire in odd numbered years. Even numbered will expire in even numbered years. Okay. Now, and also the other significant part is the term will no longer be January 1st to December 31st. Because the last 2 weeks of December with holiday season and the rush for liveries to renew before New Year's activity and all the holiday, it was not conducive to have a December 31st expiration date. So the expiration date is going to be December 15th. Again, if you already have a hard card with a December 31st expiration date, you're good to go. But anybody that's a new applicant that is getting a license after February 1st of this year, their hard card will not say December 31st. It'll say either December 15th of this year or December 15th of next year. Okay. So I just want that to sink in. All right. So okay, so number 3 just emphasizes that the new expiration date does not change existing livery vehicle licenses issued with the December 31st, 2026 expiration date. Okay, and just remember that there is a late livery license fee, renewal fee. So if you're late, there's a $150 fee. Okay, so let me just now go through. Number 4 is really for new applicants, because those that have renewed, most of you probably renewed timely, so you have a December 31st, 2026. So number 4 is what we're doing right now, like starting February 1st, what we're doing now. So if there's a new applicant, okay, and just so you know, our database assigns the number. We don't pick and choose a number. It auto-populates. When we have a new licensee, our system generates the number. So it's like a lottery, okay? It's objective. There's no subjective quality to this. It's some people, new licensees will get an odd number, some will get an even, all right? If it's an even number, right now, in the next few months, your even numbered livery vehicle license fee will be $600 and it will expire this year. Because 2026 is an even numbered year. So an even number, and again, this is new licenses, okay? You're gonna get a hard card, and it's going to be the same color, the purple color, but there's going to be a little label that says December 15, 2026 on it. We've already been issued that. Anybody that got a new license after February 1st of this year has already been getting that. So you will see there's 2 types of purple hard card. The expiration date is all the same year, 2026, but either it'll be a December 31st or a December 15th expiration date. Okay? Now, if it's a new license applicant and they get an odd number, all right, they're going to pay $1,200 and that license will expire in 2027. Again, December 15th, the color is different because this is a 2027 expiration date. And that will be next year because 2027 is an odd number year. Okay. The other important part of this notice, and I just wanted to touch on it for your awareness, but this is going to be a Department of Finance outreach and communication project where they are moving livery vehicle licenses to the same taxation structure for ground transportation tax as taxis. So livery vehicle licenses will not be, you're going to file your tax return with City of Chicago this year. This this summer. Okay, when it's due. This summer, I think it's whatever, June or whatever it's due. Like I said, I'm not the taxation person here. But after July 1st, there's gonna be a $98 a month taxation tax that will be assessed, and there will be no tax returns filed after July 1st, 2026. Again, this whole concept is to streamline, and this is what taxis do. So it'll be similar. So there won't be any need for a tax return. There won't be a tax return hold. It'll just be the $98 a month after July 1st. Now, again, Department of Finance will be doing a lot of outreach and communication about that. But as your organization should be aware. Okay, let me just go down. Okay, and that was what is new. And I'm going to go, my first list, it ends here, and now it's for questions. And do we have questions in the chat?
Okay, Jim, do you have any seen question in the chat room box?
So let me just look.
Jim is handling that, I guess.
Yes, he is. Jim?
Sorry.
Okay, let's talk. Chris, are you checking?
Yeah, I have the chat box. So let me just read a couple of these questions.
Okay, I can read some of them. Okay, does a ground tax apply to Indiana ground transportation companies? So ground tax, City of Chicago ground tax applies to activity in the city of Chicago. This is a question for here. I'm just gonna put the email. Reach out to the Department of Finance. Because I think it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're going picking up or dropping up at the airports, yes. If you're driving through the city of Chicago, no. But I am not the taxation expert. I am going to put right now in the chat. Let me do that right now before I forget. That's it. I mean, this is a good question. Let me just get the right email address. Okay, it's called Revenue Database. That's the tax group. That's their email address. I don't know. It's an old email address that they've had forever, but please email them, okay?
Yeah, perhaps I'll invite them to a meeting as well at some point.
Okay, I'm just gonna go through these. Okay, are you doing the $98 for Uber and Lyft too, or just, okay. I don't know if people are aware, but the taxation for Uber and Lyft vehicles is a lot higher than taxis or limos. I don't know if people are aware, but Uber and Lyft last year paid $150 million to the city of Chicago in ground transportation tax. Again, I'm gonna repeat that. $150 million. It's in our budget. You can see that. I will, if you are interested in how the taxation of the ride hail industry is, go to our transportation network provider webpage. Some of those Uber and Lyft trips are $8 a trip. Okay, so their taxes are per trip, not vehicle, but they're the highest paying ground transportation taxpayers. There's livery industry, taxi industry is nowhere close to $150 million. Nowhere close. It's like not even, I mean, like it's a small percentage of that. So, all right. Yes, if your personal chauffeur license expires in even and your car expires in odd, you have to still come, but you could do it online. Why are you visiting? We allow a chauffeur license to renew once by email. So, because we want to see you every 4 years, okay? Minimum 4 years. So you can renew by email 1 year, and then 2 years later, you're gonna have to come in because we want to make sure that you're, you know, who you are and confirm your identity. But it's a minimum once every 4 year presence for chauffeur license. And the chauffeur licensing renewal is very different than the public vehicle renewal. We have chauffeurs that come in on 15 minutes. Even for most livery vehicle renewals, it's quick. If you have all your paperwork, you have the paperwork. The problem is people that don't come with everything that they need, or it's not correct, and then that takes longer. But if you have everything, these visits should not take long. All right, so let me see. Okay, look at if you have odd and numbered plates come December 15th, what plates are you renewing? Look at your hard card expiration date. It will say December 31st, 2026. That means it expires December 31st, 2026, and you have to renew this year. If it says December 15th, 2026, it means it expires December 15th, 2026, and you have to renew this year. If it says December 15th, 2027, you have to renew next year. You do not renew this year. The 2027 hard cards are a bright orangish red. So do you have a purple or do you have an orange red hard card? Okay. The expiration date is on the hard card. So I have to tell you, hard cards are given to licensees. They're supposed to be in the car. We have people walk in. I didn't know my license expired. I'm like, look at your hard card. What does it say on it? You walk out of our office with the expiration date in your hand. If you get a chauffeur license, you walk out with our office with the expiration date on the card, in your hand, in your possession. Not knowing when it's with you, the expiration date is not an excuse to waive a late renewal fee. It's just sad that people don't look at the documents they receive when they walk up. Okay. Let me just see. Okay, if your insurance, okay, if you look at the renewal, what about the insurance start and expiration date? Read the the renewal instructions. That's the other issue we have. People don't read the renewal instructions. We make a lot of effort in putting step by step. Step one, do this, step two. If you look at the renewal instructions for livery licenses, we will let you renew with an affidavit saying that you will submit your insurance certificate at a later date. All right. There are no daily permits. This is a business decision. Yes, I do not have enough trips to justify $1,000 for 2 or 3 trips a year. So it's $1,200 for a 2-year license. If you're not doing Chicago trips, I mean, then don't get the Chicago license. I don't know what to tell you. This is a business decision. We have a lot of licenses that are very expensive. And if you're not doing the activity, then don't do,
I think he was talking about the ground tax. So do we still have to pay the $98 a month, even if that car only does 1 or 2 trips a month to the airport?
Yes, it's going to be automatic.
Okay.
So that's a business decision on what you want to do. So it's going to be, if you are a City of Chicago licensee, if you're not a City of Chicago licensee, you're not paying the $98 a month ground transportation tax. You're paying the airport tax, the ground transportation tax at the airport. Again, I put the finance question email. You could email them the question about ground transportation tax. Okay, let me see. Why not do online renewals to alleviate any concern? Well, we've been doing online renewals now since 2020. This is 6 years. Unfortunately, majority of the people are not renewing online, and they're not renewing in October and November, even online. So this is not us. This is, I guess, new industry problem that people are not renewing online. And, oh my gosh. Would like to confirm the rates for charter sightseeing permits? No, it's $1,000 for 1-year license. We have all this on our webpage. We have a lot of these industry notices. So let's see. Is there another?
Are suburban play cars still have to pay the ground tax too? The $98 a month?
No, that they wouldn't pay the $98 a month, they would pay the daily ground transportation tax.
Correct, the MPA or whatever fee,
Yes.
okay,
Right,
MPA
and
fee, correct,
And that's also both. There's an MPA and a ground transportation tax fee.
got it.
So if you're at the airport, you must register and have that app. And you have to register, you have to have a credit card on file. They just bill you that way.
And
So
they
that
do
wouldn't
need-
change, that's what we do now anyways.
Right. That's
Okay.
not changing.
And they do need to print their emblem and put it in on the windshield too, correct?
Yes, right.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
perfect.
because we've been getting some questions about that recently. So,
They have to do that. And you could definitely share, Paula, with your members, the revenue email address that I included. Not revenue, Department of Finance.
yes,
That email is the tax division. And they will
Can you
answer
go-
your questions.
I have one question with the text message. It says if they have a multiple type of plates, like odd number, even number, how they gonna do it? Like which they gonna do, even or odd?
Right, so yes, if you have multiple license odd and even, you are gonna have to still renew every year. Majority of licensees are not multiple livery vehicle license holders. Their majority are just single. So we're still gonna see a huge reduction in standard license renewals, because majority just own one license, which will push them in the audit. But we've done this with taxi cabs, and taxi cabs do that. If you have if you have 4 taxi cabs in your account and 2 are odd, 2 are even, in our system, you're able to do it, and they come in and renew the odd year and the even year. Again, you can do this by email. Like, we encourage people to do this. It's not us that have the email issue. It's your industry not doing it by email.
you know,
And the
we've been,
email deadline is, even if you even look at the instructions from last year, it gives you a deadline to submit by the email application. So if you just follow the instructions, we did renew, some by email, but, maybe we'd have 2 emails a day or 3 emails a day, and we'd have 150 people in person. So the percentage is very small.
Great. Jim, do we have another
Okay, so
question?
the 350, okay, again, this is a finance question. So it's, okay, if you're a City of Chicago livery vehicle, you're not gonna be doing the 350 a day. It's just $98 a month. It's transitioning from 350 a day to $98 a month. And that's ground transportation tax.
Is it going to deduct from the account automatically, like every month?
You know what I'm gonna suggest, Paula?
yes, I'm gonna get financed.
Why don't you I suggest whatever your next coffee talk is,
Mm-hmm,
you talk to Brian Carlson, the Department of Finance,
yes,
have him talk about the transition to ground transportation tax. I brought it up today for your awareness that it's going to be happening. And it's I mean, he can answer all these questions, and it's going to be, I'm sure he'll prepare outreach and communication, materials, before June to start
Sure.
getting the word out.
yes. So,
Okay, the $98 again is not happening until after July 1st, 2026. So right now, the 350 and everything you do right now is not changing today. This change is not happening until the future for ground transportation tax. The 350 a day is being replaced by the $98 a month. So right now, it's status quo about ground transportation tax. You're going to be filing that tax return in June of this year. It's status quo or whatever that's due. I think that it's in the summer.
it's
You're
just
still gonna
usually
be-
July 15th, or, no, I'm sorry,
Right,
August.
July,
usually.
right. Right, the fiscal year ends June 30th and you file it by July 15th. That is not changing for the current fiscal year. The tax fiscal year starts July 1st. It's gonna change July 1st. So you don't have, well, if you have a coffee or a virtual meeting,
Yes.
I have Brian Carlson talk, present about tax.
I made a note of that. Yeah, we'll give him a holler. Because
We-
they sometimes have other questions too. And I'm sure that would be a good opportunity. I think Jim has some other questions from the chat
I
room.
do, and this happened to me and another provider too. So sometimes when we go get new plates, the previous owner of the plates owes the city a balance, but they give us new plates and the car got booted or towed or whatever at the airport, even though it wasn't our responsibility. There's not something in the system to say that, that's the previous owner's
Yes.
responsibility, because that shouldn't have happened.
Now, okay, so what happens is we only recycle numbers after we check debt. Like, we actually don't want to give a new applicant a livery number that's associated with debt. So we make a conscientious effort not to do that, okay? Unfortunately, sometimes things slip, like we don't see this debt in our system. And also just, same thing with the Secretary of State. They will not recycle a livery or taxi license plate to a new person if there is some kind of state of Illinois debt or issue, right? I'm sorry that happened. We try very hard and confirm that the license plate we recycle, or that we're issuing does
A fresh-
not have
a fresh
any
plate,
serious
a fresh clean
debt.
plate.
Okay.
Right. We try our best. And that's why we actually, a couple years ago, asked for new numbers with the Secretary of State, because we had a lot of numbers we could not recycle because of debt. So even though we increased the number and the range of liveries a few years ago, it wasn't that we increased the number of licenses altogether, because there are hundreds and hundreds of livery licenses that we cannot issue or recycle because of debt. So we try our best, and I apologize if that happened. Sometimes like these things slip, and then if you tell us, we will work with you to get you a fresh plate. I don't know if you've seen, if you're a new applicant, when you're here at our office, when our computer system generates a number, all right? The staff will call the Secretary of State also and say, hey, can I issue this number? So we are also checking, like, by phone with the Secretary of State to make sure the delivery number is fine. The new applicant, the new owner's not gonna have any issue. So we're making all this effort. We don't want that to happen to people. But we will work with you to resolve it. Yes, so
Okay,
unfortunately, some things slip in, but we will work
Another
with
question here is, will the flat rate, $98 per month, will it be charged on a certain fixed date every month?
you. Okay, so I think that's also a good question for finance.
Yeah.
Again, I am just bringing it up. I'm not gonna be rolling it out. It's not gonna be something like, tax, there's a different department that does that. But that's a very good question. I think, Paula, with this, all of these tax related questions in the chat, you could
Yes.
just probably make a list of them and send them to Brian now.
Yes. We'll do that.
Other than
There are
that,
quite a few.
I don't think there's any other questions in the chat that we have not covered.
Jim, can we get an email for the person who we could talk to about getting a new plate if we have problems with our old plate?
Yeah, it's BACPPV@cityofchicago.org. It's the what I had shared on I'll just type it in right on the chat.
And do we have a contact at the point where we have a fleet over 40 vehicles, and it happens more than.
Okay, so this is the department number, email. I send it to the department because multiple people are checking it. I don't want to give you an individual name because
No,
people
that's
are
not
on
what I'm looking for.
vacation.
I'm saying, when it's actually happens, who can we call to get that resolved?
The email address.
Thank
Because
you.
multiple people are checking the email and you're not dependent on you're emailing somebody that's on vacation.
Thank
And you're checking it, where the BACP email, there is several people that have access to it, and it gets checked even when people are on vacation.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have-
After
Okay.
July 1st, will there be 2 arrival taxes? I'm not sure. You'll still have the same MPA tax where you scan at the gate.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
MPA
and then the
tax
ground
is
tax will
not
just be
changing.
monthly. That'll be the only
Right.
difference.
So that's also another great question for finance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm glad that you are asking these, because I think that this will help finance too with all their communications. If they
Yes.
know what the questions are now.
No, definitely. Well, I'll definitely reach out to Brian about that.
You know what? I'm gonna reach out to him right after this, letting him know that I presented today and
Okay.
that a lot of tax questions.
Plus he'll be able to see the recording if he wants to. We can make sure he gets the questions from the chat. That'll be a big help.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So I think we're done with questions, gentlemen. Is that correct? If it's not a question regarding the
Okay,
the-
Okay, so that's a good question about insurance. So
Mhm.
for taxi cab industry, because they do renewal every 2 years,
Yeah.
they're responsible. If they're in their 2-year cycle and they don't have to renew, they still have to get us the insurance. They have to still get us the insurance certificate for the upcoming year.
But
So
the
we
insurance
still
certificate
have-
will only be good for 1 year.
Right, so then you email us the new one, right?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
what you
it-
do. It's very simple. You email. We actually have an email address, BACP insurance, where we get insurance certificates all the time. So you email us. If we don't have, so what we'll do is if I think December 15th of every year, taxi cab companies, usually it's the insurance provider, they send us, proof of insurance for the upcoming year. So it includes those vehicles that did not have to renew because they're in the middle of a 2-year term. And, and that's all that happens. And if we have a lapse insurance certificate on file, we'll put in violation. You send us the new insurance certificate and it just moves out of violation. That's what the process is.
So Rupal, when the insurance person sends it in on our behalf, is there any specific information other than, they'll put the VIN number usually in the plate number?
Yeah, the VIN number, the plate number. It's the same thing that's required now on the insurance certificate. Nothing
Okay,
new.
so nothing new.
Right.
Okay.
So we're not expecting people to have a 2-year insurance policy. Okay,
Everyone.
It's 1 year. And just so it's clear, we all understand sometimes people can't get an insurance policy January 1st to December 31st. So we transitioned years ago where you give us an affidavit and you tell us you're going to be, and it's also part of your renewal application. You're all adults. You have to have insurance. You have maintained insurance. So again, that's why we do renew people even in October and November without the new insurance policy, with expectation that they're gonna have it and they're attesting to it. Let's put it that way. You're promising you're getting it done.
I think there's a.
Can you repeat this insurance email address?
You know what? All right.
I have it. I can.
BACP insurance.
Paul, can you type it in the?
I'll do it right now. I'll do it. I'll do it for you guys.
Okay. But you know what? I think that.
Okay, but the BACP insurance, that email address, you have to be clear because, I mean, you can't, like, we need your livery license number. We need the VIN number. We need all of that. If you have your account number, it's even better. Like, you have to give us information because we're having a lot of people send us emails, I need to.
Nothing on it, so you don't know who to apply it to.
Right.
Well, we get a lot of emails from people saying, I want to apply for a license. Well, we have what kind of license? Like what you want to do? And, it's just frustrating because we get emails every day that they don't tell us who they are, what they're applying for, what their real, anything and stuff. So, just, as long as you give us like the livery vehicle number, the VIN number associated, with the insurance. And also if you have your Iris account number, that'd be great. I put in the chat.
Thank you.
We'll start reminding them in our communications too when the renewals start. But I think that the one thing you previously said about they're able to renew even though the insurance hasn't expired yet is even something I wasn't totally familiar with. So this is good information and just a reminder that you can still start your licensing early. And when your insurance certificate is ready, we could send it in the email as long as we provide the detail, license number, company name, all that stuff.
We're letting people renew without their especially in October and early November, right? Because they don't have the insurance on file yet.
We have
they
a few
don't have the
insurance people on here today, so that's probably going to be helpful for them too.
Right. So, and I think that bringing up the insurance, I think will be good for us to have a communication on that.
I think so. Particularly since a number of us are January 1. So we usually have July and January, and then there's everybody in between. But even from an underwriting standpoint, it is very difficult to get a quote in September or even October. The underwriters just don't, they don't move that fast. There's so much going on. So this will help a lot. And maybe we won't all be late coming to visit you this year. All right. Do we have any other questions? And I know we went way over the time that you had, and I'm so grateful that you were able to do that. Thank you so much, Rupal.
Okay, take care. All right. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to all of you. And and I'm glad that we're able to continue this collaborative effort and communication with your organization.
Thank you so much.
Rupal.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Take
Rupal.
care.
You too. Okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna log off then, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, take care.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rupal.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Our meeting is continued, Paula.
Yes, I will continue the meeting. Don't leave us yet. We're not done with you. Okay, listen, thank you. I hope that was helpful. I appreciate everybody's questions. There were some really good ones. I'm going to turn it over to our Vice President, Chris Smith, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the Illinois Limousine and Bus Association and some of the cool things we're doing. Are you ready? Where is Chris?
Chris, you are on mute.
Oh.
You have to unmute.
Unmute yourself. All right. Where is he? There's so many people on here. I have to scroll through. If you can see him, unmute him. Okay.
Unmute. Up, there we go. I was not able to unmute.
Success.
I think you had me locked out. Good.
Not me.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And thanks for being here. I hope everybody found the information there helpful. Perhaps if not entirely complete, because we find out too that a lot of these questions are finance questions. And those are the notes we're taking away as the board to say what we need to do to get more answers. So this is the input, exactly what we're looking for the association and for all of us, is that we want to be member directed. We want to be responsive to the membership. And I think a meeting like this today is a great example of that kind of responsiveness. And we want to carry it forward in the momentum we're getting out of this. One of the things that we've done recently towards the end of last year, we did establish a membership committee, and that can take that kind of input and bring it both to the meetings, generally to the coffees, as well as to our board meetings, so that we know exactly where we need to be in terms of serving your needs as a group. So we would love to have any member that wants to participate on that membership committee. We would welcome your participation there. And if you just want to send an email back to well, at this point, I guess to Paula, right, at the main email box for now, and say, hey, that's something I'm interested in. Would love to reach out to you, and get you working with us in that regard too. Again, so that we're setting the proper agenda. We can all guess at what members want out here, but it's a lot easier if we're getting it from you. So with that, I think I'm okay turning it back over to Paula and saying thanks for everybody here today. Love this turnout and hope to see as many of you as are going to Las Vegas out there. Thanks.
Okay. I will add one more thing to that. If you're not currently a member of our association or you used to be one, Chris has a special offer for you today, and Stephanie. If we're going to send the link out for membership, and if you join by Friday, send us back your application. Your dues will be discounted. I think we're going to 20% off for the year. So for most of you, your one car operators, it's $100 per year. It'll make it $80 for the year. Honestly, it's a great investment. There's meetings like this every month, and now we're going to be meeting with finance soon. That we just added that right now to the list. We have meetings every month, and some are in person several times a year. And we will be having a larger annual meeting in May. You'll see some blasts come out next week about it. And this is your association. We're here. The board is here because they want to be here and they want to serve and give back to the community and give back to the members. So anything you need, questions, you have an issue about something, many of you already have my phone number. You have my personal phone number, for heaven's sakes. Whatever you need, let us know. And Chris and the membership committee will definitely be working side by side with us on that. And look for our weekly communications and things of that nature. Thank you again. Real quick, I'm going to hand it over to Scott Woodruff real quick. He is our Central Region representative for the National Limousine Association. And I know he wants to have a quick howdy with you guys. All right, may I mute you? Hold on. Coming your way. There you go, Scott. Here you go, Scott.
Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Woodruff. I'm a Majestic Limo coach in Des Moines, Iowa, your neighbor to the west. Been in this business 30 years now, and Maya Idreen from Avant Garde in Indianapolis is also on the call. We're both your Central Region Board of Directors for the NLA. Love these association calls that you guys have. Lots of information. So hats off to Paula and the board. You guys always bring some great education. I just wanted to touch base on a few different things that we have coming up for the NLA. GBTA conference. The NLA is once again sponsoring a part in the GBTA conference. It's August 3rd through the 5th in the great city of Chicago this year. So we'll be emphasizing the value of using NLA members and the duty of care and safety and all that each one of our members brings. We also have the Vegas show coming up March 3rd through the 5th, just right around the corner. Lots of great educational networking opportunities. Jason Dorsey is our keynote speaker, and that's going to be really good. And then the one event that I'm really looking forward to is Brett Barinholtz, the NLA president, Robert Alexander from RMA, and Jeff Nikos. They're going to have an unscripted, uncanned, just conversation about the industry. So I can't wait to see how that goes. A next event we have is Day on the Hill in Washington, D.C., April 14th and 15th. This is where the NLA members go and advocate at the federal level for laws that we like to see changed or new ones that happen. If you've never been to Day on the Hill, it is quite the event. I think Paula's been to it.
Yes.
And she can attest that it is a great opportunity.
And Marzullo too.
Yes, to meet those lawmakers. And then finally, the Miami Executive Retreat, June 2nd through the 5th in Miami. It's a much smaller, more quaint event. Leaders in the industry will be there. Once again, some education, and also you get to meet, just network with a lot of those big leaders within their industry. It's a great time.
Scott,
So
what
I
are
did.
those dates? What's the date of the retreat?
The retreat is June 2nd through the 5th in Miami.
Thanks.
I'll try to put a link to the NLA event in the
That'd be wonderful.
follow-up. Yes.
Also, I just want to tell you that there's a scholarship program if you've never been to one of the NLA shows, for the Vegas show, the fall show, and Day on the Hill. The Day on the Hill deadline is February 25th. And the scholarships opportunities, they change a little bit, but mainly it's get yourself there, and we cover the NLA covers your hotel, any admission to that event, and some other items. So, and I know Paula has actually been able to take advantage of that as well, I believe, right, Paula?
Yes.
You can elaborate on that with your members if they ask. And Paula has my contact information. If you ever need anything that you need me to bring up to the NLA, happy to do that. And one more thing, I'm going to tell you how to make money here. The city of Chicago is telling you how to spend some money, so I'm going to tell you how to make some money here. If you're not an NLA member, well, all NLA members right now, this is the best program I think that we have. If you buy a new Suburban or a new Escalade, Suburbans get $2,000 discount because you're an NLA member, and Escalades get a $1,500 discount. So let's say you are a one-car operator. It's a $99 membership, and you go buy a new Suburban. You get $2,000 off that Suburban. It's a no-brainer. So I'm happy to take any questions. Paula can get you my email address if you ever want to send me anything or have questions. Happy to help with anything that you might need. And I know Maya would definitely do that as well.
I have already sent a few people to both Scott, Maya, and Carl, your representatives for the NLA, and I have to admit they are very responsive. So if I can't answer a question and it's on the national level, those are your guys. Scott, thank you so much for your time. And I don't want to keep anybody any longer than we have to. Did I miss anything, Kaya? Are we good to go?
I guess that's all. Everyone,
All right,
thank
perfect.
you so much being here today. Scott,
Thank
thank you being here today.
Yes.
All right.
And we'll see some of you in Vegas, I hope.
Yes.
If you're coming to
We'd
Vegas,
like
let
to
us
see
know.
you guys on the next coffee meeting too.
Absolutely. The recording will be up in about 24 hours. Share it with anyone you know. And I will get to work on a meeting with the finance department. That will take us a few weeks to get on the docket, but we'll go ahead and blast the masses on that one too. Thank you again for your time. Have a wonderful and productive day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.